Yeah, what's good? What up, what up, what up? We definitely got some shit to talk about. What's up? What's good, Ghost and SG? All right, so waiting on a few more people to come up in here. We got some stuff to talk about, man. A few stuff to talk about. One thing, I'm not gonna lie. Well, I'll say this. At the beginning of the series, I did not expect the Cavaliers to go up 3-2 on the Pistons. Like the Pistons is starting to really become a disappointment. Really, really become a disappointment. Because, like, bro, there's no way y'all should be a number one seed struggling with every team y'all play with. Like, y'all starting to come out to look like one of the weakest, fraudulent number one seeds that we've ever seen. Because first off, you can't be struggling with a James Harden team. Any team with James Harden on it, you should not be struggling with it. Like y'all actually letting James Harden shine on y'all. And this nigga ain't shined in I don't know how long. What's good, Tyron? What's up, Antonio? But nonetheless, the Cavs are indeed up 3-2. And James Harden is a huge contributor of the reasoning. I would say Donovan Mitchell is the biggest reason. Tonight, it was more so James Harden, but still, for the entirety of the series, James Harden, D. Mitchell has been the biggest part, but James Harden has been a legit number two. Put in 30 points tonight, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Damn, 6 turnovers, which is obviously pretty atrocious. But nonetheless, they got the job done and got the dub. Anybody in here now believe that the Cavaliers has what it takes to close out the Pistons? Because it's starting to look like it. I'm glad to say it's definitely starting to look like it. What the hell is Cocat, dude? But anyways, though, like I was saying, but yeah, we're gonna talk about this Cavs thing. We're gonna talk about James Harden and the narrative that surrounds him because we all know him as a choke artist, but it seems like he's trying to get that black sheep off his back. And you know something else? I said it once he had a pretty good game the other night. What was the game for? I was like, you know what? The Pistons might fuck around and be that team that let James Harden get his confidence enough to get out of this. And it's absolutely starting to look like it. Make sure y'all hit the like button as you come in, please. Hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit and subscribe. But yeah, James Harden is starting to look impressive. And then, of course, we're going to talk about LeBron's next destination. I got a couple of different places I think could be in mind. I mean, he could end up staying in LA. Who knows? But a lot of things is seeming like he's going to move on. That's what it's more so looking like to me. And honestly, I think that is the best idea for him going forward because I absolutely don't think he's going to retire. And also, as you can see, we're gonna tap into the Spurs and Wolves series. As we know, the Spurs has a 3-2 lead over there. They get ready to head to Minnesota tomorrow. I believe the game is. I'm not sure. Let me check see when exactly is the next game. I believe it's tomorrow. Yes, it's tomorrow. So we might potentially see a closeout next series. Gentleman in the corner, you said Knicks and Cavaliers. That's what it's looking like, brother. It's definitely looking like it. What's up, Ellie? What's up, Nathaniel? He said, I think the number one seed Pistons is out of here. They better start booking their tickets to Cancun. They might be. They might be reserving them tickets because if I'm gonna say this, if James Harden cannot choke and and go ahead and play like the James Harden that be in the season, very high percent chance the Cavaliers make it out. And I'm starting to really rock with Donovan Mitchell, so I would love to see, to see it. Me personally, because I am rocking with Donovan Mitchell. I think, I feel like for most of his career, he keeps getting the short end of the stick. Most of these players come in and that's supposed to be his second option or whatever. They don't end up not showing up or get injured, things of that nature. But hey, perhaps James Harden could turn out to be the person that he's looking for. They made the trade for him. A lot of people thought it was crazy because James Harden is a known choke artist, but who knows? Maybe things will turn out different this time. Because that's something that can absolutely help James Harden's legacy as well. Because he's in that I would put him in the Steph, LeBron, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook era, right? He's in that era kind of. It's kind of weird with LeBron because LeBron has been playing for so long. He's like stretching into so many eras. But I would say he's in that era, right? And he doesn't have a ring. He's known as a choke artist, great player, great scorer, right? But he has the choke artist staying on his back that he has to get off. Have you been tapped with the upcoming NBA draft? So I haven't paid too much attention to it. I believe I saw that the Washington Wizards has the number one draft pick. I think the Grizzlies ended up getting the number 4. I remember that standing out. And I remember them talking about the Thunder. They were trying to, because the Thunders end up having which is insane that they have a lottery pick, number one draft pick, and as great as their team already is. But a lot of people was saying they could potentially turn out to get a high pick, and they ended up getting the number 12, if I'm not mistaken. So I remember those. I didn't even check to see what pick my Phoenix Suns got. Because to be honest with you, I don't really pay that much attention to the draft. I pay attention more so to the actual games. Yes, they moved back. I saw was just thinking that my boy done showed up. Trust he stepped up for the Cavs. Yeah, I didn't watch that game by the way. I was kind of monitoring the score, and then I kind of glanced at the stats to see what was going on among the players. I don't even do that shit no more. I'm just a chill guy. That shit was probably like 2 years ago. Yeah, it was a little minute ago. My boy saying he done matured since then. Anyway, so if we end up let's go with Cavs and the Knicks, right? If we end up getting the Cavs and the Knicks, who y'all got? Because we allegedly got a list of what they said so happened is supposed to have been Epstein came from the Epstein files, where they were showing all the teams is gonna win up until 2026. Now I personally think it's some bullshit, but who knows? But according to the alleged Epstein files list of the NBA players, because they did have all the correct teams prior, all the way up to 2019. So from 2019 up to 2026 is what was on the list. And they said the Knicks was going to win, right? Now, the reason why I call bullshit on it is because why did they only go up to, excuse me, why did they only go up to 2026? Looks like to me it was just put out there to manipulate people and to believe in. Well, that's what's going on. Right? It could be them trying to hustle people to bet, put all their money on the Knicks, knowing good damn well they're not going to win. It could be that. Because like if it would have had it going up to like even 2027, 28, it'll look more believable because you would think, oh, okay, maybe this is what's supposed to win this year and this year too. But the fact that it stopped this year don't make sense. That's what made me call some bullshit on it. I'm gonna drop the link too for anybody else that wants to come through. The shit actually put it dry right now. It's like the folks don't mess with them Eastern Conference games like that. But yeah, so um, Cavs, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. If the Cavs play the Knicks, you know what's crazy? I'm gonna go ahead and put it out on the limb. I think if the Cavs do end up pulling this off and go ahead and eliminating the Pistons, I'm gonna go with that the Cavaliers will beat the Knicks. The Cavaliers will make it to the West, to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, we'll make it to the finals. Sorry, they're gonna make it out of the East, and it would be kind of crazy, Cavs versus it could be Cavs Thunder. Could be. What's good, Motion? But at the same time, the Thunder have looked pretty impressive thus far. Obviously, they're 8-0, but they're not going to sweep the San Antonio Spurs. I think it's pretty safe to say that. I honestly, me personally, like, let's say something was to happen that the Wolves ended up beating the Spurs, I could see them sweeping the Spurs. I mean, the Wolves. But I absolutely don't see them sweeping the I don't see them sweeping the Spurs, because I just think with Wemby being on the team, he's going to give them too much trouble. If they do beat them, they're going to have a hard time doing it. If Cavs lose to the Knicks, that would give LeBron reason to go back to Cleveland for that final run. So I'm glad you said that. What's this? I don't know, Willie. And shout out to you on my Twitch account. It's rare that I get anybody come in from the Twitch account. But so that's where I was going to get ready to go to, right? So speaking of which, we know LeBron is a free agent for the first time since 2018, right? And this is actually the first time ever that he's been a free agent, and it's not his decision, because he initially wanted to re-sign with the Lakers, but the Lakers didn't give him an extension, right? So now the question is, will he re-sign with the Lakers, or will he find a new destination? So now, first, let's go ahead and deal with the first one, the one that for Ave, I'm not sure what to call you. I'll just call you G for now. If you want to give, let me know what to call you. You can in the comments. But I can agree with, if the Cavs go on and run. Let's say they do go ahead and finish off the Pistons, right? They knock off the number 1 seed. Then they end up facing the Knicks. Because I actually said this earlier on my other live about this scenario, right? And they end up falling short against the Knicks. Or even if they some kind of way defeats the Knicks and makes it to the finals and falls short to the Thunder or the Spurs, right? Either way, the same thing works. They're close, and it seems as if they need one more piece. If LeBron goes ahead and joins the Cavaliers, it could legit be a real Hollywood ending for him. If he go back for the final time to his hometown team and be the missing piece and win another championship. And if I'm him, if that's what's going on, I would go ahead and do my farewell tour this final season, and then if he can go out with winning a championship plus a farewell tour, that'll be the ultimate, Hollywood ending. Now, it won't make him the GOAT, because I know a lot of these Brown sisters would try to get started to say that that made him the GOAT, but it absolutely would get him closer because that's a hell of a run to end like that. He would like for me. I don't have him top 5. I know a lot of people disagree. You're gonna say I'm hating, whatever. But if he was to be able to pull that, unquestionably, he would be in the top 5. I would have him number 2 all the time if he pulled that off. But yeah, you say UAN Ant-Man got a dunk on Wemby like Kobe did Dwight Howard. He got to yell like Bruce Lee too when he does it. Yeah, I mean, it would make it an iconic moment for him to do that. What chance do you give Ant of coming back and winning this series? Kittle. Unfortunately, I don't speak Spanish well like that, so I don't know what you're saying. Sorry. I refuse to call him Baby Jordan. No. But I really wish people would get away from that. He's not no Baby Jordan. A good player, but Baby Jordan, no. I remember when they first started it. And when they first started it, I didn't really say anything. I was just more so listening and watching to see what he had. Then once I seen him lose to Luca the way he did, I was like, yeah, he ain't it. And then again, last year, how he lost to the Thunder and stuff, yeah, he ain't it. Great player, he's a good player, but Baby Jordan, no. You might say for Charles Barkley. Their games ain't nothing alike. The reason why I'm saying he just don't have Jordan's mentality. It's different. And another thing, like I said, he don't have that relentlessness that Jordan possessed. I also think his motor isn't too well. I actually be seeing him getting tired. And he's far too young to be getting tired. And then now, since the Olympics, he started, hanging around Steph Curry more. He wants to shoot the 3 too much. Well, this is the thing. You said you're not counting them out unless Wemby goes crazy. But here's the thing with that makes it a real problem. Wemby doesn't have to go crazy to beat them. Like they blew their ass out bad last game with them having a game, and then the one game that they won with Wemby playing, he played very well defensively, but he didn't pretty much provide anything defensively, and it still was a very close game. So pretty much all Wemby has to do is have a good game. He ain't got to have a great one, a good game, maybe even an average one, and they beat them. So me personally, I don't think the Wolves have a chance. It's not. I don't really see it. I think they're going home next game tomorrow. Been a good run, but they had going on. Yes, I do think the Cavs are winning. I now believe the Cavs will eliminate the Pistons. I don't know what it is, even though New York has been looking pretty dominant outside of the little scare that they got from the Hawks. It's kind of crazy that the Hawks gave them the most competition so far. But even with that, I more so think that I think that the Cavs could beat the Knicks. You think KD is done in Houston? Yeah. Now that's pretty crazy. That's tricky. But if I had to just guess now, probably sober. If I'm Houston, I wouldn't want him anymore. But perhaps, you know what? Maybe he does play another season. Because it is his first season. You got to think about that. And to be fair, the point guard was out all season. So Fred VanVleet will be back next season. We got to see what they look like once he returns. And then if they get beat again, he absolutely is done for sure. Or even halfway through the season, if it's looking bad, they could trade him at the deadline. Cavs over Knicks ain't a crazy take, but New York got too many weapons. Yeah. I guess we'll have to see because I'm not, to be honest with you, bro. Like I know Mobley is a great defender. He's a post player. And I don't know the Cavaliers roster that well. But if anyone does know, in the perimeter, who do they have that can defend pretty well that they probably would end up putting on Jalen Brunson? And back to LeBron and his destination thing. There's also some more chirping around the league. There's another team that people are saying he could end up landing. And this one right here, I probably wouldn't be necessarily a big fan of it. I must say. Definitely wouldn't be a fan of it. But that other destination is Golden State. Been hearing some of that floating around. And another person that said, I don't know, I saw it as a quote. I'm going to try to look it up to see if there's some truth to it. But he said that if LeBron decides to leave LA, his destination will probably be Golden State. I don't see no video. I see an AI bullshit. I don't feel like going through it. It's kind of long. But anyways, though, yeah, I'll have to verify it. But they said that he said it could be Golden State. Now, let's talk about really quickly what things will look like if he goes to Golden State, right? First and foremost, you would have the two greatest players of the generation joining forces. Now, I must say, as a Steph Curry fan, that kind of would be interesting to see. We kind of already got a glimpse of it in the Olympics. Um, is it something I would want to see? No, because I just don't like LeBron James and his terrible fan base. More so his fan base. I just can't stand them. So I just wouldn't want that toxic energy going over to the Steph train. We don't have time for that. And then we don't have time for you coming over there blaming everybody, saying everybody else is the fault, trying to downplay everything. We ain't got time for that garbage. So that's me. And then here's another thing. I couldn't see. First off, if I'm Steph Curry, I wouldn't want him on my team anyway, because you are in a battle to be the greatest. Because, like I said, contrary to what others think, and I believe if I had to bet on this, I would definitely bet on it. I believe Stephen Curry thinks he's better than LeBron James. Me, myself, actually agree. But so if that's the case, why would I want him on my team? I wouldn't. And then, because I'm pretty sure he wants to get the 5th ring and be able to surpass LeBron in rings. You can't do that by joining forces with him, because if you get a ring, he gets a ring. Now, you could end up getting the Finals MVP, perhaps, but here's another thing. I'm pretty sure of it. Let's say they were to join forces and they make it to the finals and win. LeBron is 100% going to try to stack that to make sure he gets finals MVP. 100% he's going to do it. Because you have to think about what's in jeopardy here. I know clowns love to say it's no comparison between the two, but the real truth is there is. You can't erase the fact that Steph beat him 3 times in the finals. You can't erase the fact that he did more in less time with less help. These are the facts. So if he was to get, let's say he was to get on teams with Steph, and Steph wins the Finals MVP while they're on teams, that would be devastating for LeBron, even though he would get a 5th ring. Because one of the narratives that LeBron fans and the media has been pushing was that Steph Curry can't be part of the conversation because he has only one Finals MVP, right? So what would that look like for you to join forces with that guy and he wins the Finals MVP with you playing? Now, we know all they're going to do is try to say he's 42. That's what they're going to try to say to cover up for it, because you know they're the excuse-making kings. But the actual fact of the matter is he would get – Steph Curry's not a young man either. That's another thing. LeBron would be 42. Steph Curry would be 39, people. So you might as well say he's 40 as well. You know how y'all used to round it all the time? Once LeBron became 37, y'all kept saying 40. He's 40. He's 40. Once 38 hit, he's 40. Once 39 hit, he's 40. Once 40 hit, he's 45. That's what y'all do. So pretty much Steph would be 40 as well. So I don't want to hear shit about that. So like I said, it would definitely be devastating to his career if his greatest rival, if he gets on teams with him and Steph wins Finals MVP. That wouldn't look good for his resume. But it absolutely would look good for Steph's. But hey, who knows? We did know that LeBron said he would like to play with Steph Curry. So, hey, would it make it happen? I guess we'll just have to sit back and watch. But here's another thing. Could it actually work? Because I heard a couple of people saying that they don't think it would work because their defense would be bad. We know Steph Curry isn't the greatest of defenders, but Steph Curry is a willing defender. So he's a willing defender, but he's not a great defender. There is a difference. LeBron can defend, but we know he doesn't defend at this advanced age for the most part. So would their defense be bad? And also, if LeBron was to join the team, who would be there with him? Would he join using, because a lot of people was mentioning the vet minimum. LeBron playing for the vet minimum would be crazy because we know historically he always takes all the money the maximum amount of dollars he can get. So could he possibly change it up this time? Maybe to be his last destination? Perhaps. Maybe. Not sure. Also, though, I would love to think that if LeBron does move on, he probably would want whoever he's going to take Bronny as well. That's what I would think. They're going to be a package deal. So let's just say he ends up taking, let's say he does end up going to Golden State. And he says, okay, you got to take Bronny with me. If they go with that deal, then perhaps he'll lower the money so that they'll take Bronny as well, right? Like, look, I'll take the vet minimum if you just take my son with me. Now, if he does that, I think that would be actually a pretty fair deal. They're having to take somebody that's obviously not good for somebody that they do want. So they have to make a roster spot for him. That way he's protecting his son while still continuing his career, and he could possibly compete for a championship, right? So if he do it like that, that way Golden State can still keep their pretty good players. Let's say you got a combination of Steph, LeBron. Could they keep Jimmy and Draymond? If he goes for a vet minimum, they could. And perhaps even still keep Porzingis. Does that look like a very good team? Yeah, but we still got to factor in that they're old. But could happen. I mean, you got to think about this. LeBron has never played on a team where he's going to be able to freely attack the basket like that. Like, think about it. LeBron hasn't had a time where he able to have the floor stretched out the way it's going to be with Steph Curry being on his team. And this is coming from, somebody that's deemed a LeBron hater, right? But I got to be honest. Imagine LeBron having the paint wide open because they can't double. It's pretty much the same scenario that Kevin Durant was able to get while playing with Steph. Only difference is Kevin Durant had Steph and Klay Thompson. So it was a really good situation with him. LeBron would only get Steph. But still, it gives you, a lot of spacing that LeBron wouldn't be used to. And then you got Jimmy, who's a great defender. Draymond, who's a great defender. Porzingis can protect the paint to a degree. Like he can protect the rim. So, I mean, it could work. Then you got, but then keep in mind they got a big that can stretch the floor. So Porzingis would stretch the floor some as well. We catch up on the comments. The perimeter will cross cancel. That series is going to be won in the paint. I don't know if Cavs have bigs that can contend with New York's bigs. Well, no, they actually do have that. That I would have to disagree with that. They got Jared Allen and they got Evan Mobley. So now they can definitely bang down low. They got some rim protection. LeBron career manufactured. He allowed to jump ship and recruit and still find a way to lose. 100%. I agree with you 100%. I can Bron in Dallas to team up with Kyrie and Cooper Flag. That wouldn't be a good scenario for him. Because, as you know, history tells us that LeBron doesn't like playing with younger players. He loves to play with seasoned veterans that already knows how to win, as opposed to having to deal with somebody's youth kind of affecting them. And because, time isn't on his side right now. So, no, absolutely he wouldn't go to Dallas. Now, if Cooper Flag has already been in the league maybe 5 years or something, 4 years even, probably so. But sophomore year, and then keep in mind Kyrie hasn't played all year. We don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back. I mean, I would guess he'll still be pretty good, but you don't know. So going to Dallas, I would say that's a no. LeBron got to go to New Orleans Pelicans to retire. Why the fuck would it be New Orleans Pelicans, nigga? But yeah, so Cavaliers and another destination that I don't think no one's mentioned yet, New York. The same rules apply for New York that we said for the Cavaliers. Think about this. If New York was to fall to the Cavaliers, or if they make it to the finals and get beat by the Thunder, they probably would feel like they're one piece away from winning. So the same rules could apply. LeBron goes over there, says he'll take a pay cut, just take my son with me. So him and Bronny goes to New York and they play. And if he takes the pay cut, they get to keep most of their good players. And perhaps he pushed them over the hump, right? Then he can go over there and take all the credit because you know LeBron Sessions gonna lie and create narratives along with the little media, and they're gonna create narratives saying LeBron is the sole reason for them winning the championship, and they're gonna say, "Look, y'all win nothing before till Bron came back. Y'all ain't won the title in 50 years. Soon Bron come, y'all win." That's the narrative they're gonna push. But the actual truth would be they were already relatively a very good team. You just so happened to come and add to the team that it was enough to win, which has been the case with all the teams LeBron has joined for the most part that he won a championship with. But the narrative was LeBron was the one who made them. You know how they love to do it. Do you see a scenario where Bron would try to go to Chicago in some weird thinking if he won a chip there, the fans would embrace him and give him the nod as go over Jordan? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Multiple reasons why I say no. First off, LeBron is not going to go to any team that he feels like is not a competitive, that's not a contender, you know. And Chicago, as of now, is nowhere near a contender. So that's the first and most important reason he's not going. Two, let's say they were a contender and he goes over there and he pushes them over the hump. They win the championship. There's no way in hell winning one championship is going to flip Chicago to believe you're now better than Michael Jordan. Fuck no. Now, perhaps some of the younger fans, you know, that doesn't know any better would be foolish enough to be manipulated to believe in garbage like that. But for the most part, hell no. The NBA should force LeBron to retire, send him to a bottom feeder team. It's so many different, you know, theories and stuff about LeBron's retirement. I'm not going to necessarily bring that up here, but yeah, that shit's crazy. What's up, DeMarcus? Do I think LeBron on that new juice? Absolutely. Absolutely. I know in hell he ain't. I don't care what nobody say. I ain't got no proof of it, but all the signs are there. He is allegedly on that new juice. Absolutely. I told you the Cavaliers would win tonight's game. I don't know if you told me that or not. But it is. So you got DeMarcus, you got them taking on the Cavs. You got the Cavs going against the Knicks and the Knicks winning, right? So I remember you got the Knicks going to the finals. I think you got the Knicks winning it all, correct? If it ever leaked out, would the GOAT debate officially be? Absolutely it would. To me, it never should have even started. But that absolutely would be the screen that would break the camel's back for sure. That would be it. There's nothing else they could do. Not only would it officially knock him out of the GOAT debate, this would end his career. Like he would fall out of the top 75 if they find out that's the truth. Because you got to think about this. The only reason that a lot of people even put LeBron in the GOAT conversation is because of his longevity stats that he has. If you really look at his resume, and he still has a good, because think about this. He still has, I guess you could say, a good resume without the longevity, but at the same time, no, you don't. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you can say he got 21 All NBAs, cool. He got what, 20, 21 All-Star appearances, perhaps, something like that. Cool. Maybe even 22 All-Star. No, 21, I believe. 21. Maybe it's 22. Maybe it's 22 All-Star appearances. Whichever one it is, it doesn't matter. That's cool. We got 4 MVPs, cool. 3.5 rings and 3.5 finals MVPs, cool. Right? But here's the thing. If they find out he's on the PEDs, you gotta take a lot of those things away. Because if he wasn't on the PEDs, he probably don't make it to 23 years, people. He probably would only make it to, I would say, 15 seasons. Because think about this. LeBron's game doesn't typically transition over well. The way he plays, all this banging down low, dunking, and Frank training all through the hole and stuff like that, that's wear and tear on your body. What the PEDs do is help you recover faster. That way, that's the reason why he never got a major injury, because he healed so fast. But if he didn't have that, his career wouldn't have lasted that long. So he probably doesn't break Kareem's record. He doesn't get that many All NBAs. Because think about it, even if let's say he does play 17 years, he's not going to be dominating for that long. So even if he do play 17 years, he's not going to make the All-Star that many years. He's not going to make All NBA that many years. All of that got to be factored in. And he probably doesn't get that 4th ring for sure. He may still get the 3rd, but the 4th one, absolutely not. So if you take away that 4th one, now Steph Curry has more rings than you. So yeah, it would definitely do a whole lot of damage to his career. What do you think Adam Silver want LeBron to go to make the league more remarkable? East Coast team, stay in the West, Canadian team, Toronto. I think for the market vote situation, it's only two. Well, I don't know. Like I said, I'm pretty much naming all of the scenarios that could make it, box office that they can sell a very good storyline. Like I said, the Warriors scenario would be pretty good. Uh, the Warriors scenario would be pretty good, and then also um, him going to the Cavaliers obviously would be good. But this is what I called months ago. I could see a scenario where LeBron does return back to Cleveland, right? I do think Cleveland's gonna fall short either in the Eastern Conference Finals or even the finals. They're gonna fall short, right? It'll be the perfect scenario for LeBron to return back home. Then think about this. Golden State, keep in mind there's some free agents that's on the market. We all know the biggest one on the market right now is Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? Let's say the Warriors, for the sake of arguing, ends up landing them. So now you got a combination of Steph, Giannis. They probably have to get rid of Jimmy Butler. Perhaps Draymond will still be there. Might have to get rid of Porzingis as well, but still, Draymond, Steph, and Giannis, and then they build around them. It's a pretty good goddamn team. And then let's say the Golden State Warriors load up, they make it to the finals. LeBron shifts east. He's back with the Cavaliers. He teams up with Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. If he takes the vet minimum, like I've been suggesting, or not even if it don't have to be as low as the vet minimum, just take a pay cut instead of taking the max. He go ahead and just maybe take $20 million, right? That way, the Cavaliers can still maintain a pretty good team. Cavs make it to the finals. Warriors make it to the finals. And then they have one more showdown, Steph versus LeBron. And then it'll be the 10-year anniversary between their showdown in 2016. So that would make a very good story as well. If the Knicks play the Cavaliers, who you got? I want to go for the Cavaliers, and I think you're trying to hustle me out of some more money because you think the Knicks gonna win. That's why you ask. Motherfucker. I'm not too sold on it yet, though. I'm thinking about it. But I doubt I'll bet you on that because I just don't trust James Harden. I trust Donovan Mitchell. I do not trust James Harden. If they had another star over there, I probably would bet you. Why are you talking about LeBron James? He out of the playoffs. Well, because there's been a story about where he's going. That's why. All-time great, but he don't got that Jordan, and I hate to compare even like a Tim Duncan. He loses when it matters. Izzy, you are so right. That's what I've been saying about him. I was just telling YD that like 3 days ago. He never shows up when it matters. I don't give a damn how many clutch shots y'all say he had, how many total points you say he got during crunch time. I don't give a fuck. When it really matters against a team that matters, this nigga doesn't show up. 1 in 8 seasons to get a championship is failing great. Yeah, it is. He should retire. He's done it all. Him playing longer and not collecting chips affecting his. Yeah, But see, the media wants, and his dumb, delusional fans wants to tell you that it doesn't affect his legacy. And I think that's insane how they think he can still do stuff to improve it, but nothing he does affects it. It's insane. And Bron has always had talent around him. Wade, Bosh, Kyrie, AD, Kevin Love, Luca, Reeves. Absolutely. That's the reason why. So now I'm gonna shift to the last thing. Spurs and the Wolves, right? So who do y'all got with this Spurs and Wolves? I've been saying my pick, and I'm gonna stick with it. I believe the Spurs will take them out. I think they're gonna knock them out in 6. But I will say this. Although my prediction is the Spurs will end them tomorrow, they better go ahead and do it tomorrow. Because if something was to happen, although I do understand the Wolves are at home, but if something happens that the Spurs don't get it done and they let this thing go 7 games, the Wolves just might take them out. And to be honest with you, if I'm OKC, that's what I want. Because I think the Thunder could easily defeat the Wolves. They're gonna have a hard time with the Spurs. So if I'm OKC, I'm rooting for the goddamn Wolves. And I'm just thinking that with the team being young, no real playoff experience, and never facing elimination before, we would have to really find out what Wemby and the crew is made of. Because with them never facing elimination before, they could choke. Because think about it. First round, they got out pretty easy 4-1. And then now this round, semifinals, they face elimination. Could get too nervous and the lights could end up being too bright for them and they could lose. The Wolves has already been in the game 7. At least Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, Jaden McDaniels, I believe. Yeah, he was part of that crew. Them 3 has already been to a game 7. Now, Julius Randle, he wasn't part of the team when they won 7 games against the Nuggets. But for the most part, and then of course, they got a lot of vets. Mike Conley done been there and done that. You got the Timberwolves over the Spurs. You want to bet on that one? I'll bet you that shit right now. I'll bet you that shit right fucking now. Well, he lowered the amount for that. He ain't too confident. We can do the $20 though. It's cool. That's a bet. Spurs about to eliminate. Hold on, you talking about just tomorrow or the series? What are we talking about? Let me make sure. Just tomorrow? That makes it a little tricky. We'll just, that's cool. Just tomorrow. All right. I get it. I think they're putting y'all that day ass away tomorrow anyway. I don't know though. I've been having bad ass luck. Be honest with you, I don't lost every bet. I don't bet at somebody. I probably shouldn't do it, even though it is just $20. Some bullshit. The NBA making money off the San Antonio versus Minnesota series. So are you implying you think they're gonna stretch the series so that they can make money? Anyway, people, I'm about to go ahead and jump off. We're getting dry. I just wanted to come up here very briefly. Appreciate everybody stopping through. Just like the NBA would stretch the Cavaliers versus Pistons series to game 7. They could, but Cleveland at home, they could close their ass up. But anyways, though, Talk to y'all probably tomorrow after the game. San Antonio and the Wolves. Definitely will probably do a quick thoughts on Nemesis. I don't know. I'm gonna try to watch Nemesis tomorrow. He says it's 8 episodes, so that's 8. I'm guessing they're probably gonna be 1 hour episodic. So basically 8 hours worth of show. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to fit in 8 hours, but hey, maybe I can just watch some of it and then do some reviews on the ones that I've seen. Anyways, though, catch you good people tomorrow.